brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. We're going to keep that dark morning intro until, we have sunshine in the morning. It's a balmy +6. Welcome to June. I have the heater on in my car. Mornings at the Cabin. Yeah, no, what the hell is this? What is going on? I had it on this morning.
Ollie had the fan blasting in here. Our temperatures are just all over
this
the
building
place.
Doesn't know what the hell's going on.
That's also true, yeah.
It could be +20 out here, and it's just like, well, it felt a little cold this morning, so I'm going to jack up the heat. It's not too bad in here this morning. By the way, you're listening to Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler, Lecter, and AJ with you on your Tuesday morning. It's Taco Tuesday down here at Cabin Radio. But no tacos today because of, we're not a taco restaurant.
It's time to come clean, Jesse.
Yeah, I just did.
There were never any tacos.
That's right. There weren't.
No.
Not even butter chicken?
I've been lying this entire time.
It's all been a ruse.
It's all been a ruse. How do you do your Dunkaroos? Speaking of Dunkaroos, Emily brought in yesterday, and I wasn't here for this. I just discovered this morning because you told me, Lecter. Mm-hmm. She brought in carrot cake Oreos. Now, if you don't know, Oreos have been releasing all kinds of crazy flavors over the past few years. A lot have been available in the States for a long, long time, but only becoming available in Canada in the last little while. Carrot cake Oreos. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds disgusting. Well, you'd be wrong, because they're delicious, and now I'm in danger of becoming even fatter than I already am. Because I can't stop. They're so good.
To be fair, we're all in danger of that all the time.
No.
That could happen.
I suppose. Yeah. All right.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Northwest Tel, much the hero for the last 3 months, well, hero is a strong word, for waiving data cap overages, has decided that they will no longer do it. We're getting, the restrictions are loosening. People are probably heading back to work pretty soon, I think. And so Northwest Tel, after this month, will stop doing waiving overage charges. However, your data cap will increase. So if you are like me, for example, you have the 300 gigabyte package for $139.95. It's a steal. We'll now have 450 gigs under the same price under Northwest Tel's new proposal, but would go back to paying overage fees if they exceed their data limit. Now, in the last 3 months, we have not gone over 450. We've gone over 300 every month. I think we've reached 400, but we haven't done 450. So, that's not bad.
You've actually kept track of your data that you've used, not just the percentage?
I just get the emails, right?
Okay.
And they tell you. They're like, you've gone 120 over, that's this many gigs.
I just look at percentage.
Okay.
I don't know why.
And have you gone over?
Yeah, every time.
Well, yeah, because you only have like the 110 gig plan, right?
You know what? I'm not sure which plan we have.
I'm pretty sure that. You mentioned it before. Let's go back into the archives. We'll go back into the archives and we'll find out exactly. Yeah, I got the 110 gig plan. Well, there, see there. And back to the present. So more data for what they're saying is for 99% of their customers are going to get more data for the same price.
Yeah.
I think people were hopefully kind of expecting that they'd offer the unlimited plans.
Yeah.
They've talked to you. They have a desire to, they've said.
Yeah.
Also, you can get a new package, which is the new. Well, there's a new maximum data cap available because right now I think it's 500 gigs or something, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So the new data cap max available under this proposal will be 750 gigs for $239, $239.95.
The deals just keep on coming.
They just keep rolling out.
God. Yeah.
750 gigs. That's a
a lot of data.
That's a business basically, or a house with a bunch of kids.
Well, we are all in the business of consuming data.
That's right.
So
that's right.
And business is good.
There's always.
I tell you.
All right. There are 5,000 data points about all of us every day, all the time.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to a documentary I saw on Netflix that I kind of skimmed through. So 750 gigs is the new cap. When you have, I have the 300 data cap.
Anyway.
Yeah, under the proposal. So it's going up to 450, which would be great for the same price. It's still pricey. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that down south, it's not really unlimited, right? You get your $60, $80, $100 package every month or whatever, but there's still a cap. You just rarely, if ever, reach it. And I know when we were with Bell. Was it Bell? I can't remember. Whoever we were with in Burnaby, and it was 450 gigs a month, and that was basically considered unlimited.
Right.
Because you'd never touch it.
And it is tons, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have the 400 gigs, and we actively tried to go over the last couple months because it was free.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Like 750 gigs, I think you would have to be constantly downloading very large files, and you have to do quite a bit to go over that.
Well, and I mean, if you've got kids and they're watching YouTube and stuff like that, especially if they're home, especially now,
they do that.
Oh, they do.
They do.
Kids do. That's why it won't happen. Because they do all over the place.
They poop. Ugh, the worst.
No.
Oh,
AJ,
sorry.
How dare you? No,
sorry.
they do
a different do
YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
AJ,
What are you doing?
My head's in the doo-doo gutter.
we got to do our diligence. Anyway, so what was I saying? You distracted me with your poop
talk about
talk.
doo-doo.
I think you were sending
YouTube
out
children?
an ode to Northwest Tel's honesty
Oh,
and how we appreciate it.
I was.
The fact that they're saying this is your limit. There's no unlimited data, even though there clearly is a limit. They're just being straight with you.
That's
and
right.
I, for one, appreciate that.
Well, that's right. That's right. I mean, I would love an unlimited package, right? I mean, it's going to cost like, $400 or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think I ever needed, like, just like what AJ was saying before we started talking about poop, is that it's really hard to actually hit that unless, of course, you've got kids streaming YouTube and streaming Disney Plus and all these things. That's why it's so important for those streaming services to have the option to lower your resolution.
Leaving the modem plugged in.
That's right.
The dial-up
right.
connected.
I know. I get so many faxes. So I mean, it's hard to rack that up unless you got that going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been very comfortable the last 3 months because we felt a lot better, like downloading games. And Phoenix is working from home, so she's using Zoom a ton.
Right.
Again, should have invested in Zoom in December.
And with all of that, you still haven't gone over 450?
We haven't gone over. I don't think we've gone over 400. We've gone to about 400. So I mean,
interesting.
Yeah. I think we'll be okay.
So 750 really is.
I think we'll all be okay, guys.
I think we're going to make it.
I think we're going to make it, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks to Northwest Tel.
Thanks to Northwest Tel.
The real heroes.
We're going to make it.
The real heroes.
Completely. Thanks to Northwest.
Yeah, all right. So if you're currently paying for the 80 gig, which I think is around what Lecter's doing, you'll get 90. So if you're doing 300, you get 450. You get 80, you only get 10 extra.
Ugh.
But I mean, if you're not going over your 80, an extra 10 is going to be great for you.
Yeah, what are you, a caveman?
Yeah, what are you, like, that's like an hour of HD. That's an hour of HD watching. It's about 7.5 gigs.
Oh, what do you need HD for? You don't need to see people's faces.
What is that?
Just assume that they have eyes, and your watching experience is just as good.
That's right. That great Wes Craven movie, Assume They Have Eyes. So those measures are in place until the end of this month, which is the waiving the overage charges. So, you know what? Blow out the tanks. You got... 21 days? You got 3 weeks to blow out the tanks, rack it up to 700 gigs, because the party's over come June 30th.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Again, no tacos. Don't come down here for tacos. Every Tuesday there's a lineup. We can't have it today.
It's time to come clean.
Again.
Yeah.
I already did, though.
I know.
I've already confessed.
You're still coming clean.
I am. No tacos here at Cabin Radio. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to be okay.
We lied to all those people.
You know what? We sell so much merch that we don't need to sell the tacos.
Oddly enough, our Taco Tuesday line of merch just hasn't gone well.
I mean,
people are better because they can't
honestly,
get
though,
tacos.
honestly, if anybody
advertised,
if anybody actually listened to this show, that I would say that would be a great T-shirt. Taco Tuesdays at Cabin Radio.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But nobody listens. They watched it, but nobody listens to it.
They hear it,
but they're not.
But they're not listening.
They hear you, man, but they're not listening. Big trailer drop this morning.
You're gonna want to listen to this.
Yeah, that's right. For all of you
friends.
who loved Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and loved Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey even more, the trailer for Bill and Ted's 3, I think it's called Bill and Ted Face the Music, dropped this morning. It's so odd because it's such a, like, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I think, came out in 1990 or 1991, or maybe even 89.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it came out a long time ago.
89, yeah.
89. So
The
you're talking
Excellent Adventure.
30 Excellent Adventure 89?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bogus Journey 91, probably.
Okay.
So like 30 years ago. So you're separating sequels by 30 years, which has become pretty common now.
Yeah.
But I mean, they both look pretty good. Alex Winter, I don't think, has been in a movie in 25 years.
Wow.
He started directing more than he did acting. Alex Winter, for those of you who don't know, outside of Bill and Ted's, also played Marco in Lost Boys.
Whoa. Okay.
That's right. He was when they were hanging upside down, when they go into the cave, they're hanging upside down. No. He was the first vampire they killed by a stake. Yeah, and it was
good for him.
I think it was Corey Feldman that did it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Typical. Sounds about right.
That's right. And they just get covered in vampire juice. Lost Boys is great.
Never seen it.
It's such a good movie. So Bill and Ted 3 dropping, the trailer dropped. I mean, the release date is kind of still up in the air because, we don't know when theaters going to open up to the max because every time things start opening up again, they get closed. So we're obviously taking a pretty marked approach to it here. So I guess we'll see what happens. Originally, it was supposed to be out, I think, in like February. So that might.
So filming's done then?
Filming's done. Yeah. So filming is done. They got it done before the pandemic happened. So that trailer dropped. I've been waiting. It's a 1-minute trailer, so it's more like a teaser. But I'm a big fan of the whole franchise.
Yeah, but when you bring them back when they're older, it just doesn't seem to have the same effects. Almost like Dumb and Dumber. When they brought back Jim Carrey.
Oh, you mean Dumb and Dumber 2?
That's the one.
Holy Jeebus, was that terrible.
That was
Good
bad.
Lord.
Real bad.
Yeah, no, terrible.
Yeah. Jim Carrey really pushed back on that, too.
Well, it was shot on the cheap,
back.
so it looked cheap.
Yeah, he denied it. He said, I'm not going to do it for a long time.
Oh.
He said, I'm not going to do it. And then Jeff said, I won't do it if Jim doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, that
and
makes
then
sense,
eventually, like years and years later, they finally agreed to do it.
Yeah,
and it was just hot garbage.
It was terrible. It was shot on the cheap, so it looked really cheap. It was shot with HD cameras. Like, not that everything's shot with HD cameras now, but it didn't look like a film. It just looked like they put it on a tripod and like, okay, let these guys improvise for a while.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what they did with the first one, but there was like a movie around it, whereas this was just a bunch of little scenes where they were improvising, which is kind of how comedies kind of went for about, say, post 40-Year-Old Virgin for about 15 years. Well, I'll say 10 years because it's been 15 years now. About 10 years. You're just like, let's get a bunch of funny people together and let's just do static shots where they improvise and then we'll just use whatever's best.
I feel
and
like
you
they
can
lose
tell.
the energy, too.
You do absolutely lose
Yeah,
the
like
energy.
Jim isn't as wild and crazy
No,
as he
well,
he's
like
old
60.
now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's going to be as bogus of a journey or an excellent of an adventure.
It probably won't be, but
What's
they
this one
will
called, Face the Music?
Yeah, which is
okay.
a great title. I think that's a perfect title.
Do you know the premise?
Well, they're facing the music. I imagine they're going to, because William Sattler's back as the Grim Reaper, so I imagine maybe the Grim Reaper's come to collect his due.
Was
that
Monitor?
Was that?
Who was the aliens? At Monitor?
No. Station.
Station. That's right.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of these movies, by the way.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. No, they're awesome. I love them. And it's where I discovered at the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I'd never heard the song before I saw it, and so this is 30 years ago. God Gave Rock and Roll to You by Kiss.
Oh.
It's Kiss's cheesiest song.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's my favorite Kiss song.
Wow.
There's a lot of cheesy songs,
like
too.
Kiss, but that was my favorite Kiss song, and it is garbage. It is a garbage song that I love so very, very much.
But put in the right context.
That's right.
It works.
As a matter of fact, okay, I was talking with Clams and Moose, and we're going to be taping our episode of that. They're going to be interviewing me for one of their next episodes. I'm not sure when it's going to air, but we're going to record it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And one of the questions, because they said come up with a playlist, so they gave me 5 questions on a playlist. And one of them was what your guilty pleasure song is. And I was like, I was racking my brain. What is it? It's God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
That's a good one.
By Kiss.
Yeah.
So let's just keep talking while I find it and put it up here.
Had we known this would go here.
That's right.
I often say that I don't like the term guilty pleasure song because why would you feel guilty
exactly.
about
Why would you feel guilty
that...
about it? It's just like it's
But that's a good one.
It's the parlance of our time.
That nails it.
Yeah, that's right.
What else
we
do you
don't
call
have
it, though?
We don't have it.
Your favorite song?
No, wow.
Because then you'd be like, wow, that's not true.
I just think like if you if you call like the Spice Girls a guilty pleasure, why?
Yeah.
If you like the Spice Girls, just own it.
Because
just
like
own
you're
a little
Girls.
ashamed.
It's fine. But why would you be ashamed? It's all just music.
Why are you ashamed?
Why are you ashamed?
Why?
No shame.
Why you cry?
Why you?
We don't have it. I can't. I was sure we had it. I was sure. I I'm pretty sure I put it in there.
We have
in
the
our
tools.
original playlist.
Guess we got to get it before tomorrow.
No, we don't.
No, that's all over.
Just keep talking for a second.
I think we're done.
No, we're not.
No?
No.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to continue writing this one out. Okay. What is Bill and Ted 4 going to look like is the real question.
That's what we should be looking forward to.
After the music has been faced.
So I think that might be the premise, is that like William Sattler comes back and
I hope Station's in there. Just because in the original it was like a big teddy bear costume.
That's not the original.
Well,
Bogus,
I mean,
Station is in Bogus Journey.
Whatever. The original movie that Station was in.
All right.
Yeah, but now it would probably be like CGI.
Oh, probably, yeah. You got to drop that money. Okay. Anyway, very excited about Bill and Ted 3. Let's just listen to a little taste.
You keep throwing the whole thing.
I'm gonna pot it down right now. Here's some Kiss. God gave rock and roll to you. Beautiful, terrible song.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
The part where Paul just starts talking and like really lifting you up as if he's Tony Robbins is just the best.
Yeah, that one's a guilty pleasure. You're right.
Again,
I take it all back.
No guilt in my pleasure for that.
Nah, you should feel a little guilty.
Really?
For that one. Yeah, I think.
I feel like it, but you're absolutely right. We call it things guilty pleasures. If you like them, why would you feel guilty? I feel like a guilty pleasure would be like I like seeing people suffer. That would be like, I feel guilty about this, but it's a pleasure of mine. I love watching people suffer.
Well, I suffered through that song. So
okay, there you go. I enjoyed that.
Feel guilt.
There's my guilty pleasure. Is watching you suffer through the only Kiss song that I like, which is garbage. It's not garbage. It's actually a really good song. It is. We're going to play that more often. I'm going to add that to the playlist. It'll play every few days. But that's going to be my guilty pleasure song for that interview. So I can't wait. More Dishonest Criminals.
What?
Yeah, it's really disappointing. So a 20-year-old from Edmonton was one of 7 people charged in September 2017 after an RCMP drug sweep turned up cocaine, firearms, and cash. Liban Mohammed was arrested during that raid, and after the trial, Mohammed was convicted in February of possessing property obtained by crime and possessing cocaine for the purposes of traffic. So, pretty major crimes.
Yeah.
A little theft.
Right.
A little cocaine.
Yeah.
Monday should have seen him receive his sentence. However, Mohammed told the court that he and his wife had taken an online COVID-19 self-evaluation on June 1st, and he has been told by the University of Alberta Hospital self-isolate for 14 days. As a result, he said he could not be in his lawyer's office for Monday's hearing with police standing by to take him into custody because he might have COVID-19. He asked for an adjournment to a later date and said he would get a COVID-19 test at the hospital once the 14-day quarantine period is over. This is why I wanted to ollie in on this. It's like, why the hell do we have to wait 14 days to test somebody? That doesn't make any sense. While this was all going on, people with symptoms were told to go get tested.
Right.
So why do we have to wait for 14 days to test this person?
What's the online
I don't
thing?
know. Yeah, it's like going to WebMD and being like, I got a pain in my foot. Cancer. Have you ever been to WebMD? You add your list of symptoms and it's like, sounds like you've got bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Reluctantly, Justice Shannon Smallwood has to grant the adjournment. The issue as to whether or not he has COVID-19, she says, seems fairly uncertain. He has symptoms, but no plans for testing for 14 days. That doesn't make any sense
Not a
whatsoever.
Whole lot. No.
It's just, it's like everyone's extremely skeptical about this. It's like, if you're that skeptical, test the person.
Yeah.
And they're in Alberta. So, I thought the turnaround for testing was pretty quick. This is why I wanted all in on this, because I don't know why there's this 14-day period. And maybe we would have a segment where it's like, what about knowing precisely what's going on? Why the hell are we waiting 14 days to test someone who's being convicted of drug trafficking? Why are we granting 14 days to be tested to see if we should sentence him?
I don't think Ollie knows.
He doesn't.
Not gonna lie.
Maybe. That's fine. That's fine.
We finally found something that Ollie can't explain to us.
Oh.
This is a milestone moment.
That's right.
On Cabin Radio.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from here.
Wow.
14 days, you can devise some real good schemes in 14 days.
I'm pretty sure in 14 days you could probably find something to give yourself COVID-19. I don't think he's allowed out of his house. He's under house arrest, it sounds like. But I mean, like, it seems a little odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for the reason that drug trafficker gets 2 weeks of isolation before we can test him to sentence him for drug trafficking. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be an explanation forthcoming.
I liked your little drawl there. You sounded like you were going to say, "Goddamn drug trafficker, you're getting away with everything."
They took my job. Wait, no, they didn't. Oh God, I wish I was a drug trafficker. So easy. It's so easy to just be like, yeah, I live in the territory, so let me over the border. Oh, I've got COVID-19. Don't sentence me. I can't go to jail. I've got sickness. Easy stuff. This one seems odd. Obviously, I'm reading it at a surface level. Again, there's probably a logical explanation for it.
No.
But according to the story, everyone is extremely skeptical. And even the justice was like, you know what? I'm really reluctant to do this, but I guess I have to let you self-isolate for 14 days before we can test you.
That's the responsible thing.
No, it's not. The responsible thing would be to test him immediately, find out whether he's lying, and then sentence him. That seems.
But he did the online thing.
That's right. He took the online questionnaire, and it was one question: do you have COVID-19? Yes. Okay. Self-isolate for 14 days.
Okay, take 14 days.
Say 14 days.
Just,
it says that he has symptoms, right? So he's got symptoms.
Yeah.
So maybe he does have COVID-19.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put that person in Gen Pop. That's
Gen Pop.
That's right. Oh yeah. No, I'm down on the lingo and all that.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a pretty bizarre story.
It seems that.
Yeah, maybe he's taking a cue from you remember when COVID-19 was kind of really making it big in North America, and there was that story about the McDonald's employee who just didn't want to go to work anymore. I got symptoms.
Stay home. And then they found out he was lying. It's like, that's too bad. Well, at the same time, you could have a sore throat and be like, during the peak of it all,
yes,
have a sore throat and be like, I think I've got symptoms. I need to stay home. And then it turns out that you don't, but you still had to wait like a week or two for tests to come back.
Yeah.
And if it turned out that you didn't have it, would you get fired for that? Because I mean, during the whole time, I was begging for a sore throat. I didn't want COVID-19
so bad.
but I wanted to wake up one morning and be like, I got a scratchy throat. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah,
but it didn't happen.
If you talk like that,
healthy as a bull for the last 3 months. Sorry,
I'm just gonna talk like this for the next couple months. You can't refuse.
Talk like the Godfather.
This is what COVID-19 does to your throat.
Just sing that Kiss song every day, and
I
you get
gave
a bit of a
rock and roll to
scratchy
you.
throat.
Gave it to everyone.
You know what? The story goes deeper. When on September 8th, police used a battering ram on his apartment door, finding Muhammad inside. He initially gave a false name. This guy is lying through his teeth. Gave a false name. Probably said, I don't live here. This is my friend's house. And then is like,
pretended
I got COVID-19.
to have a cough.
That's right. Pretended to have a cough.
You just can't trust these drug dealers anymore.
Trust drug traffickers. How many times do I have to say it? Oh.
If you can't trust a drug trafficker, who can you trust?
This is the new voice I got.
Once we get that vaccine, we can just go back to
That's right.
Trusting drug dealers.
He could just be like, well, we should wait for a vaccine before we sentence him because we can't put him into Gen Pop before a vaccine. And this is going to be as it peters out. I mean, obviously, hopefully we don't set for a second wave and things like that. But as it peters out, people will just still be using that as an excuse. I think I got COVID-19. We can stay home. I got COVID-19. You can't sentence me. I got COVID-19. That's why I committed this crime.
Yeah.
I was just worried about being sick, so I figured I'd knock over a bank
while I can still breathe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I wanted to knock over this bank because I'm going to be out of work for a couple of weeks while I figure out whether or not I have COVID-19. And you can't arrest me because I've got COVID-19.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Coming up at 2 o'clock today, a peaceful demonstration will be occurring. Anti-racism peaceful demonstration brought to you by PSAC, organized by PSAC. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Of course, it is a Black Lives Matter peaceful demonstration starting at 2 o'clock at the multiplex. Please make signs with Black Lives Matter slogans and put black ribbons on your antennas This limits people in being in contact with others and observes the restrictions about limiting contact with others during phase 1 of pandemic restrictions. 3 p.m. begin the procession following the parade marshal down Franklin Avenue to 48th Street. Turn left at the four-way and proceed past the courthouse, DND, City Hall, and turn right onto Franklin at 53rd Street back to the multiplex where you will disperse. There will be speeches. There's not going to be a demonstration at the multiplex. The speakers will be streamed live and people can watch from home or on their phones. This is what they're asking people to do because there will be speakers. And originally there was a plan to gather and listen to the speakers, but obviously that's not in line with restrictions. If people want to attend and have no vehicle, they're asking that they respect social distancing and line the route holding signs with slogans. So that is going on at 2 o'clock today. They're saying it's going to end around 4:45. If you want to join the procession, please do. Make some signs as well. Put those black ribbons on your antennas, where this is, obviously in response to everything that's been going on, protests, peaceful or otherwise, around the world and around the north as well. There was one at Fort Smith on Sunday, and some very successful ones in Nunavik, Fort Smith, Whitehorse, and now we're hoping for a really good turnout here today. So a lot of people are going. A lot of people listed that are going. I'm sure there are people that aren't listed that are going as well. Try to be down there at some point today. Show your solidarity with the community.
2 p.m. at the multiplex.
There you go.
There's been a bit of a interesting results with protests across Canada that have happened. I don't know if you heard about the one in Toronto, which was by and large seemed peaceful and without incident. There was one idiot who showed up in blackface. Apparently.
Oh, that guy!
And was,
I saw pictures of
his
that.
life's over.
Yeah.
There's not much coming back from that.
Yeah, so that wasn't great. From what I saw about the protests organized this past Friday in Winnipeg, went down without incident. It was a really good, really positive event. And then I saw a headline today that protests that were planning to be organized for Calgary
canceled.
Calgary postponed.
Calgary's had it postponed. There was one. There was one planned in Innisfail, which is right next to where Phoenix is from. So we kind of had a chuckle about it because her sister still lives in Innisfail.
Right,
it's a town of about 8,000 people.
Okay,
and a person was trying to organize a rally there and was met with such backlash that she's canceled it.
I think there was a protest in Calgary, though.
There have been a few.
I saw a video of
but there's been a lot of backlash.
Making some comments about it that were
pretty classic Alberta stuff, especially small town Alberta stuff. A lot of the comments, they listed them in the story. The first comment was, "We don't have a race problem here," insinuating that we do is part of the problem. And then the next comment is like, "Guess you can't tell Africans what to do." And it's like, okay, so we don't have a racism problem. The next 4 comments were all racist comments.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But that was generated by having the event in the first place.
That's
right.
If you don't have the event,
didn't exist,
then we wouldn't say these things.
Right. Yeah.
So we did get a message from my mom. She's part of the organizing crew on this one. And parade only on advice from Dr. Candola. No speeches will be live but streamed, like we mentioned. Parade is changed so vehicles will go all the way to Franklin to 48th Street, and then do what we described the parade route. And again, speeches will be streamed so you can watch them from home or on your phone. They're asking people not to gather or demonstrate because obviously the restrictions are in place. Not what we're seeing across the world. I mean, you see, there's drone footage from LA.
Right.
And there's it looks like there's at least 1 million people on the street. And they're all packed in tight.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people using that as justifications for them, like their protest is a meaning thing. This is like people mocking it, saying, well, I guess COVID-19's over because look at all these people. It's like, no. It's not that. It's not that COVID-19's over. These people are literally risking getting that in order to show solidarity, in order to show support for this cause. This is not about, getting haircuts and going to Applebee's. This is about actually making systemic change.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. Mm-hmm. We've seen it. I've seen people still going, well, what are these protests all meaning? What's this going to come to? It's like, well, They've voted to defund the police department in Minneapolis. They're stripping $150 million from the LAPD's budget, which is north of $2 billion or something like that, and reinvesting it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, if you find people online that are saying, defund the police, well, what are you going to do when you have to call 911? Listen, idiot, defund the police does not mean abolish the police force. It means there's still going to be police. It just means that some of that money will be allocated differently to people, like especially when it comes to wellness checks. That we've seen violence erupt from wellness checks, checking up on people and who are suffering from mental illness and being shot or violence erupting from that. So instead of sending someone in with a gun, you send someone else in first to de-escalate.
So like social workers,
social worker, a counselor, someone to de-escalate the situation. You could have a police officer there if it does turn violent, right? Because there is that. But then you also use some of that money to teach cops not to pull your gun at the first bloody opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. So that's what defund.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the murder of an unarmed black man, which sparked all of this, a big part of the problem has been there has been a severe lack of de-escalation in all of these demonstrations and situations, coming right from the top.
Yep.
And so obviously fundamental change is necessary. We've been saying that for like our entire lives. People have been saying that. But now we're seeing some real action being put into place, which is it's inspiring.
Yeah,
across the world.
And if you absolutely across the world. And if you don't have your TV on all the time, you may think that this has kind of died down. It hasn't.
No.
So this is still going on very much so. It's not at its peak rage as it was last week. But for example, in Austin, Texas, this is another story coming out of Texas. Right. A young man named Justin Howell was in a protest, right? And I mean, however it was sparked off, it became violent. He was shot with less than lethal rounds and shot multiple times. And then he was denied medical help. They were begging for his friends and cohorts were begging for medical help. The police told him, bring him to us to get medical help. So there's video of them carrying his limp body towards the cops, and the cops opened fire with less than lethal rounds. There's video of it. It's right there. So he is in the hospital right now with a fractured skull and brain damage, and they're not sure if or when he wakes up. So that's what's going on. So this is why these protests are happening. This is why we have to show solidarity. And however those things touched off, if this was a war, you don't shoot prisoners, or you don't shoot people that are going for medical help. You just and they're not what it does.
Kind of hiding behind the mask of non-lethal rounds.
Non-lethal doesn't mean much of anything.
If you hit someone in the right spot, a punch would be non-lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
But people die from getting punched in the face all the time.
Absolutely. So when people think rubber bullets, well, they're rubber bullets. It's like, no, they're bullets. They're super. They are lethal if they're shot in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's something that's still going on everywhere. These protests can turn violent very easily, and we've seen evidence for the last 2 weeks of police doing that escalation. Right? You've obviously got agitators within the crowd, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you've also seen countless videos of police breaking windows or police loading up bricks. Like, we've seen it. It's there.
Yep.
This is not fake news. This is what's going on. So this is why these demonstrations happen. This is why we have to show solidarity. And I mean, you're still going to see people. You're still going to see people asking why we have to have this here. We don't have a racism problem in Yellowknife. Yes, we do, and we have to show solidarity with the community. And and that's it. There it is. So if you want to attend that is at the Multiplex today, starting at 2:00. Bring your vehicle, and if you don't have a vehicle, please line the parade routes. I'm sure you could walk with the parade. I mean, it says line the parade route with signs, but I'm sure if you keep social distance, you can walk with the parade route, carrying your sign and showing support. So please do, if you can make it. Please do. That's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin this morning. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you at the rally later on if you can make it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Little Mark Ronson with Miley Cyrus. No.
Oh, I get an ejection cord, huh?
I don't want to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, smoke bomb.
Not for that one. Okay, we'll just do this.
Late game change.
Late game changer. I'm not even telling you what's up. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.